I used Nearpod to create a digital lesson. Nearpod is a helpful site with many interactive activities. I chose a second grade standard. I also chose ISTE Standard 1.1C, Feedback to Improve Practice. This was the standard that I would want my students to accomplish with this lesson. My whole lesson is accessible to struggling readers because each slide has the audio included. These were my I can statements for my students. I would plan for this lesson to be student-led because there are clear audio instructions on each slide for students to guide themselves. Students are able to collaborate even if they are not together. For my opening activity, I chose a quick question and they were able to provide their answer on a collaborative board. And the collaborative board, students can put their answers on, and I am able to see and they can see their classmates. It's a good way for me to engage students because they can answer in various ways. They can also see their classmates' responses. I then chose a couple interactive activities to include in my Nearpod. Here are my instructions, and then I also included a YouTube video. I chose a video to introduce the topic to my students with questions throughout the video. I thought this would be great for auditory, visual, and easily distracted learners to learn the topic. The video also has questions throughout to interact with. Then I chose this as a follow-up from what they learned in the video. This is an open-ended question. I gave students the option to type or record their response depending on what they are most comfortable with. This is a quick formative assessment for me to see how my students are learning. Next, I chose the Draw It activity. This is an activity for my creative students. They can draw the earth at different times of the day. Students are able to show what they picture in their mind when thinking of the standard. Students will take a little quiz to show what they have learned. This is a summative assessment for me to reflect on where they are in their knowledge of the standard. This was my closing activity. Students will summarize what they have learned throughout the digital lesson using a collaborative board. They will post either an audio recording or a text. Their classmates can see their responses and read or listen to them. This is accessible for students who are still learning to type and write out their words. Students reflected on their own learning in the collaborative board on the previous slide. Students can show me if they have met the standard in their response describing how the sun affects day and night. I learned Nearpod is such a helpful tool for teachers when creating digital lessons. Nearpod is accessible for many different learners by giving teachers so many different activities to choose from.